Welcome everybody, this is Jan and I'm happy to have you here for the next video of my color grading series. This time I want to show you the latest features in the Adobe Photoshop beta, and we are very close to a new release. In the pre-release program I've seen what's coming next, and we will talk about that in the coming videos, but for now I want to show you the current beta features that will enable you to have so much more fun and control over the changes of color matching. And for this, I want to guide you through an image that I found online at models.com. If you want to check out this beautiful series by photographer Jeon Seung, that has a fantastic color grading on his images. I found that very inspirational. So I took one of the images as an inspiration, and I created another one in Midjourney to be somewhat different, somewhat the same from the setting, but color-wise completely different. And this is just a hypothetical case. Of course, one would actually not really go from that color on the right to the color on the left, but it's possible. And you know, sometimes there is the need to create a mock-up or to create a scene, and I really want to encourage you to play with the new features because it's just amazing what you can do. So that being said, let's dive in. I want to show you a couple of things that include masking, that include color changes, and that include also color matching. And if we take a look at the image on the right, we can see that the prominent color in the background is red, whereas we have a teal greenish one here on the left side. So what is new in the beta? You can see that the contextual taskbar has another button that says adjust colors. And that is very handy when it comes to that image. So first we have to click this image, then we have to hit the adjust colors button, and it will open a color scheme down here which features the most prominent colors, and it's basically a hue saturation adjustment layer. And if you're not sure which color this is, you can always take this little handle bar up here, click it, and you can click in here, and then you can see it's that color. So what we can do now is change the hue, and you can see that we can very much bring it close to the left side by adjusting the sliders a bit. Of course, the skin looks really weird, and that's not where we want to be. But let's go in steps, and we don't want to do this all in one. So first of all, I think we are color-wise pretty much near like this. A good starting point. So let's deactivate that for a second. And if we click on the background layer, we can use the object selection tool, I believe it's called. And then we can go up here and click select people, and it already found the person. And the thing that I want to do now is I want to select the skin, so I can either click here and click shift and add those to another, but I also can go here and check the whole person or the parts of it. Maybe we create one for the skin first. That would be upper body skin, hair, eyebrows. I want to have everything but the clothes. So that looks pretty much all right for me. We hit apply, and we let Photoshop do its magic. Now, if we check quick mask, we have a pretty accurate mask. It's okay that it includes the shoes. We will do something to it anyway, because I would love to try to put these pink socks on him as well. So what we want to do is now we want to exclude this from the adjustment. So we just fill it with black, what we don't want to have changed in the image, so that we have a good starting point for colorizing this. See? Okay. But maybe we want the skin to be a little bit affected, so we can take down the density a bit. Maybe something like 90% would be a good starting point. Okay, so what do we need next? We can have that in a very simple approach, or we can have a very organized approach where we put all the masks in the model folder. This is how I usually work, but since this is a quick mockup, we don't necessarily have to do that. So we can go and now pick the closing. So this one, we can either go with select people, or we can also hover over it, and actually it did a pretty good job in finding the jacket. The only thing I would love to include is a bit of the shirt, so that would actually make a bit more sense like that. Always the wrong direction. There we go. And now we can have, so by the way, if you wonder what I'm doing here, if the selection is active, I can hit the Q button for quick mask, so that I can just visualize if the mask is accurate. So what I want to do now is colorize this blue. I am going to try that with a hue saturation adjustment as well. Maybe make it a bit darker to go a bit more to the left side, matching much better. Something like this, yeah. It doesn't have to be super precise. We're doing a mockup. And I want to do the same with the pants, right? Let's go with the hue saturation one again and see how far we can get. So first we need to darken it. Something like that is good. I think here I would like to exclude the belt. So I'm going to go into that mask with black, and with 50% opacity, I'm just going to paint over it so that the belt is going to stay neutral for now. So here we have the skin. Here we have the jacket. And here we have the shorts. Right, wonderful. Since we have the skin already, we can first check if, so we have density 90%. To have the full skin, we have to go back to 100%. In this case, I would like to create a skin folder with Option Shift selected. You can invert the mask and drag it on top. Here we go back to the 90% we had. And inside the skin folder, I want to get closer to the color here on the left. So what do we have to do to get there? We can first try with a curve. Love curves. I don't know about you, but curves is a very mighty tool. So I guess one thing we should do is take down the light a bit, just lights, and maybe brighten up the shadows to get it a bit more into that direction. So we take down the contrast. Let's exclude the hair by painting with a mask, with black into the mask. So we actually keep the hair. Just the skin is going to be a bit different. And now we want to change the color. So what do we need to do? We need some yellow. And we need some green. Not so much, maybe. Let's go in steps. And now, the belt. In this case, we have to take it out. Yeah, this is a bit too much. Although I think we are pretty much there, but we can dial down the opacity a bit. So 75% maybe. It's a little bit closer. And you see, it has been, until now, it has been pretty easy to get from here to here. And we just used the automatic tools that we have in the new Photoshop beta. So what do we need to do still? What we could do is first, I forgot, we wanted to try and see if you can get the pink socks, right? That we could do if we take a selection tool. Draw a rough selection around the skin. And, or maybe, maybe we will close the shoes first. Just do a circle and hit generate. So we won't confuse it too much with the toes. Let's see if it knows what I want. Yeah, that's pretty much all right. Let's go here, do the same. Just the touch of pink would be lovely to have. All right. Now let's try and add the pink socks. Let's pull them up onto there. Maybe we take this out. And then we hit and write pink sock. Last time I tried, I wrote punk sock. Didn't get even close to what I wanted. Anyway, let's try this one. Let's try that. It's a bit thin, but we can work on that in a second. Let's give it a pink sock here as well. Now that I look at it, I think the skin needs a little bit more love. So they are not 100% alike, but also that's fun. Let's make a folder here that is called socks. And let's actually exclude that part here from the skin folder. And also this, we don't need it anymore. We will deal with the very thin foot a little later, but let's concentrate on the color for a bit. So what I would like to do is, let's try with levels. I want to brighten it up a bit. Like this. We will again take out the hair. Oh, sorry, we need to add some part back in here. Why is that? It's in here. Do we have to mask this away here in this one? I think the Okay, that was the socks. The skin is looking better. Maybe we give a bit of the background color into this first group we created with 30% or something. Other direction, like this. So it goes a little better with that. Okay, now we are pretty much done. Let's go for a global adjustment. There's another thing that I would like to show you, which is very handy. Let's create a stamp and go for the color match option that comes with the adjustments. It's an AI-powered color match, and if we activate this, we can set the source to the image on the left, and then we can play a bit with these sliders and see if we can get even closer to it. So the luminance has been a bit too bright, the color intensity maybe also, but let's see if we can bring it in with a few percentages and see if it gets us closer to the image that we have as a source. Maybe something like this can do well. And now we will put this to color. Yeah, why not? I think it works. And so the last thing that I want to do is create a bit of a film grain to get closer to this look on the left. And as you know from my videos, I use patterns for that. I have a ton of film grain created. If you want to know how that works, please check out the other videos. You will definitely find good information on how to do that. So this is a gray layer that I introduce now with soft light. And now if we compare them side by side, you can see that we are pretty much there. There's one thing that I would like to still do, and that is put in an invert layer, set it to color, go back to 0, and then come back in with the percentage that I want. And I'm just looking at his legs at the moment. And now I will put the mask to black and just paint it in where I want it. Therefore, I will load the skin mask and I will paint it in just to make sure that it is not too saturated in the hand. Sorry, in the skin. Maybe 12% opacity is a bit too much. Let's go for 9. I think that's much better. And there's one thing left to do, and that is I would like to liquefy the foot a little bit. And make it a bit thicker, so that it doesn't look too thin. This way, I think it looks much more believable. We only have to make sure that this line doesn't get too blurred. But as I said, it's for a mock-up, it's for a quick idea, and this is just a demo to show you how you can make use of the new tools that are around the corner in the beta that is coming to be the full version soon. And I love the new adjustment tool, like the adjust colors tool. I love the masking, which is insanely accurate. And of course, for high-end workflows, you need to be going in with more precision. But even that can be a great base if you don't want to use the pen tool all the time. Make sure to check it out. Tell me in the comments what you think. And yeah, I really want to encourage you to try this because it enables you to concentrate more on what you want to achieve. Think a little differently in how you approach masking and adjusting colors, and it gets a little bit more intuitive. And yeah, so let's go out and play. It's fun. It's very intuitive. Go for it. Let me know in the comments what you think. And until then, I wish you nothing but the best. Take care. See you in the next one. Bye.